Thank you for speaking to Security Review. Nice having you with us today. Let's start with a brief about Purple AI. How is it different from other solutions?
Okay. First of all, thank you for having me here. So this is again one of the hot topic now. We are talking to our customer and investor in our booth because everyone is so obsessed about AI and the use of AI nowadays. And the reason is very simple because it had been in the hand of consumer. So when you put a technology in the hand of consumer like mobile, it became very popular. And this is what happened to AI. It used to be in the hand of a big enterprises. You need a huge investment to have it. And suddenly with a tool like ChatGPT and similar tool, everyone got easy access to what we call generative AI with the help of LLM models. And cybersecurity is not different. So cybersecurity analysts start looking for vendor like SentinelOne and say, why we don't have this flexibility like all others, the people using an AI? Purple AI is simply our way of presenting the same capability people used to consume it in a ChatGPT into our cybersecurity platform. So similar to what ChatGPT make a normal writer to be like a professional writer, we also want to turn like a normal security analyst to be an expert security analyst, which means that tool can query using a natural language. He doesn't need to really learn a very complex technical query, and the tool guide him with what should be the next question, where he should look. The tool can take an action, do auto investigation, auto remediation. So those capability now became fundamental features and capability within our platform, which no SOC team will really give it away when they see it available in any platform.
And how is AI helping companies, detect and respond to threats in real time?
So what it used to happen, let us think about the traditional way of how security operational team used to work. You go to SOC room, you see a lot of screens, graph, dashboard, flying attacks. So normal security analyst will just wait for an alert to react. Expert security analyst will have an iterative way of thinking. He will take those telemetry data and alert and try to dig deep and get maybe ingesting some other log, maybe try to get a more evidence from a different system, maybe ask a question like, what happened before this ends, what happened after? And then he started thinking in an iterative way to make sure the data, the conclusion he is reaching is really as a real threat, it's a true positive. So what we did in our tool is this kind of thinking. So we added capability where our Purple AI tool can do iterative thinking within it take multiple pulses of investigation, collect data beyond the normal telemetry of the endpoint, ingest from any third party, SIM, data lakes, security tool, to make sure we, based on those data, based on the facts we have, we conclude to what we have is the real threat. We need to start acting, or it may be something false, and we need to keep monitoring for something really impacting our environment or blast.
Okay. What is Singularity Hyperautomation? What role does it play in security operations?
This is a very important one, and it's a recent component we added because what we found, most of our customer is really having the legacy playbook. They rely a lot on manual repetitive process, and this is time consuming. And when you have an attack, so definitely the soonest you know about it is the better. So knowing you got compromised 1 hour is really better than you got compromised for a past 24 hours. So what we are doing, and we try to make as a SOC team act first in focus on the real things matter to them and avoid wasting time in a repetitive task. So we created a Hyperautomation tool, which simply can take any repetitive manual process the customer used today and create with no code, just drag and drop a complete workflow. It doesn't need an experienced developer to build it, no programming experience needed at all, and you can build the full automations with just in a few minutes with just mouse click, fully integrated with any tool or vendors the customer might use. So for example, if I got an attack or I want to trigger a suspicious activity happening and I want to collaborate between multiple teams, so you can create a simple workflow where it can invite all those stakeholder or team member into a Slack. For example, if the organization uses Slack, if there is a certain activity and you want to take an action from the Slack to, for example, shut down a machine or isolate the machine, all this can happen through a workflow developed by the security team, doesn't need a development skill set, and it can be deployed within their environment to save them time from this wasted activities they used to do manually and focus on the real threat and put their energy in something really important for.
And how can AI-driven automation help businesses comply with local regulations?
This is again very important. So because, for example, regulation like GDPR, and they focus on data security. They want to make sure you are aware of any incident happen and you can you have an incident response plan. So our tool really first can give this speed and agility any customer need when they apply for regulations, is aside from protecting the environment, but it provides the response and remediations and the customer might need when they need to have a response plan for any incident that it could attack. It puts them ahead of the attacker because it builds the right resilience to the environment. So customer really doesn't need to worry about downtime if they could breach or recovery, because we have those capability of autonomous recovery, a part of our platform. So we really help our customer to proactively have the required resilience for their business application, to have the uptime 24/7 required by their organization, and meantime comply for the regulatory locally enforced in the country.
Okay. And over the next, let's say, 5 years, what sort of innovations and growth can we see in AI-driven solutions?
So this is the most common question. Everyone was interested to see what's next. So yeah, so we saw AI, traditional AI, machine learning, and neural network, and then became generative AI, the use of LLMs, and how really we got impressed with the capability we have from public tools like ChatGPT. And what I see will be the agentic. It's the new evolution of AI. So agentic AI it think by itself. It go beyond just detecting something suspicious in my environment. It sense, it think, and it can take an action in our behalf. So it looks scary like the science fiction movie, but what we do, we still need the human element part of it. So while we implemented the genetic now part of our platform, and we see this will evolve for the coming 5 years, we still recommend and empower organizations to use man in the middle in the process. So don't assume AI can really detect and take an action blindly. Make sure this reviewed and there is man in the process where can take a decision or reinforce whatever the AI is recommending as an action.
Thank you for speaking to us. Nice having you with us today.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.